With obesity becoming a big fat problem in the country, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has urged people to eat right and focus on their fitness. Speaking at the inauguration of 38 National Games in Dehradun 2 days ago, the Prime Minister called obesity a challenge for the country and appealed to people to focus on exercise and also a balanced diet intake. Prime Minister Modi also called upon the people to reduce consumption of unhealthy fat and oil in the diet, saying families should reduce oil intake by at least 10%. He said only a healthy body can lead to a healthy mind and a healthy nation.
एक ऐसी चुनौती की बात भी करना चाहता हूं जो बहुत जरूरी है। आंकड़े कहते हैं कि हमारे देश में ओबेसिटी की, मोटापे की समस्या तेजी से बढ़ रही है। देश का हर एज ग्रुप और युवा भी इससे बुरी तरह से प्रभावित हो रहे हैं। और ये चिंता की बात इसलिए भी है क्योंकि ओबेसिटी, मोटापे की वजह से डायबिटीज, हार्ट डिजीज जैसी बीमारियों का रिस्क बढ़ रहा है। मैं देशवासियों से कहूंगा, दो चीजों पर जरूर फोकस करें। ये दो चीजें एक्सरसाइज और डाइट से जुड़ी हैं। हर दिन थोड़ा सा समय निकालकर एक्सरसाइज जरूर करिए। टहलने से लेकर वर्कआउट करने तक जो भी संभव हो अवश्य कीजिए। दूसरा ये कि अपनी डाइट पर फोकस कीजिए। बैलेंस इंटेक पर आपका फोकस हो और खाना न्यूट्रिशियस हो, पौष्टिक हो। अपने खाने में अनहेल्दी फैट, तेल को थोड़ा कम करें। एक स्वस्थ तन ही स्वस्थ मन और स्वस्थ राष्ट्र का निर्माण कर सकता है।
Now, as per last year's Lancet study, 8 crore individuals in India are classified as obese. Around 3 crore adults in India are either overweight or obese. The picture is more worrying among the urban population, with 70% of the urban population categorized as obese. As per the National Family Health Survey 2019-2021, 24% women and 23% men in India are obese. The growing obesity problem has also associated health risks like hypertension, which means very high blood pressure, coronary artery disease, heart failure, atrial fibrillation, stroke, and other diseases that can be extremely risky. To talk more about this, we have Riya Vyas, who's a yoga and wellness coach. We also have Dr. Shikha Sharma, senior nutritionist. Let me begin with you, Dr. Sharma. First of all, who all fall in the category of being obese, and how should they pay attention to their intake? Because most people say 80% is diet and 20% is exercise if you want to choose a healthy lifestyle.
You're absolutely right. When we talk about your body weight, 80% is nutrition and 20% is exercise. And the reason 80% is nutrition is because our entire body is made of food. So if the food goes out of balance, then the body's parameters, the fat content, everything starts changing. Similarly, if the body is not exercising properly, then eventually what happens that the whole metabolism changes, and that pushes the body into a sedentary linked obesity. So, the thing is that if you look at the measuring tape, eventually the measuring tape gives you a better idea about fat deposition, because most of the fat deposition is visceral fat. Now, I want to just differentiate between when you see a small baby. A small baby is, a newborn baby and up till 1 year, 2 year. It's quite chubby, and that is because of the subcutaneous fat, which is not bad. But over the years, when we start having food with a lot of chemicals, with a lot of artificial flavors, with a lot of refined food in which a lot of chemical processing has been done, it causes internal inflammation, which leads eventually to the fact that the fat is not now under the skin. It is now surrounding the body organs, which is called visceral fat, which in lay terms you call as belly fat. And that is why it is very important to keep track of your weight and your measurements, because your visceral fat, which is actually more dangerous, is the culprit. Just having extra body weight is not the culprit. Like bodybuilders have extra body weight.
Right.
Weightlifters have extra body weight. So don't go by your weight. Go by your visceral fat, which is more in inches rather than weight.
Now, Ria, people normally do tend to take extreme steps when they are pushed towards fitness. What are some of the simple steps or exercises that you'd recommend one can start with to begin with?
I think simple movement, simple stretches when it comes to yoga practice, or simple asanas. For example, just doing days. I've seen so many people who come to my class, and it is difficult to find time with this in this day and age when everyone is occupied. You have multiple things on your to-do list as you get up. What you can try and do is just take out 10 to 15 minutes for yourself. Just move your body. If you can go out for a walk, great. If you cannot go out for a walk, you want to be in your home, just start doing Surya Namaskar practice. Do at least 5 to 6 rounds of Surya Namaskar. Do simple deep breathing. If possible, try and do Anulom Vilom. If you do not know how to do Anulom Vilom, you can try and learn from anyone, or otherwise just do simple deep breathing. That will help a lot, especially in issues like obesity and diabetes. Kapalbhati, Anulom Vilom, breathing practices really help because it really impacts your entire body. And at the same time, when when we talk about all these ailments, these are also related to stress. These are also related to our lifestyle. What time are we waking up? What time are we sleeping? What time are we eating our meals? What is the quality of our meals? And what is our lifestyle in general? At times, people are stressed these days, and they end up eating a lot of food that is processed, packet made food, or maybe chocolates, if in case they're stressed out. So these things really impact your entire lifestyle. So being mindful of every single thing that you do, at least for a few days and initially to start with, will really help. So mindfulness is extremely important.
Absolutely. Now, Dr. Sharma, there are so many layers to this. It's not about the shape of your body, whether you're fat or thin. It's about the associated health risks. And if you go, asking for solutions, there are too many, in fact, too many solutions to confuse you, from keto diet to intermittent fasting. What should an individual choose in case they fall in the obese category? What's the most simple, basic thing to first get back on track?
It's an excellent question. See, the first thing everybody should understand that if you are becoming overweight in the normal context, in the normal cities, if you see, and the way obesity is rising, it is the prime trigger is internal inflammation. Because if you really see, the quantity of food eaten in the city is much lesser compared to quantity of food which used to be eaten earlier in the sense of number of chapatis or the quantity of food. So it is not that the quantity of food is the real culprit in today's time. It is the quality of food which has become the culprit. So the first thing is internal inflammation is causing this rising epidemic of obesity. So what you have to do is you have to choose food which has zero chemicals, number one, which means that whatever you eat cannot come out of a packet, and whatever you eat cannot be refined in a way which has introduced chemicals. Like, for example, the Honorable Prime Minister talked about oil. So one of the biggest problems today is that the refined oil which is coming, the refining process uses hexane, which is a chemical, because it is commercially refined in huge batches, in huge quantities. So choose cold pressed oils. So you remove the chemical there. Second is remove the chemical from your snacking, because even if you, let's say, wanting to eat a samosa, have it at home. Don't have commercial oil, because those have chemicals. And definitely don't have any packaged food, whether it's a biscuit or whether it is a namkeen, because all of them have so many chemicals that they are interfering with your metabolic processes. And then they are leading to visceral obesity, or the obesity which leads to heart attack. So that is number two. Number three is that we must have, depending on your age, if you take a plate, the quantity of vegetables and salads has to go up to almost 50% with, when you are in your 35, 40, 50. Because if you are not having this much vegetables and salad and fruits in your diet, all stressors will cause damage, and there is nothing to repair the damage with, because the damage repair primarily happens because of vitamins and antioxidants which come from vegetables, salads, and fruits. That means take a plate, 50% should be vegetable, salad, and fruits.
So the key takeaways from what you've said is very simple. Eat ghar ka khana. Even if you feel like having a samosa or a pizza, you can make it at home. I think unknowingly we are all making unhealthy choices and options because perhaps we don't know about the kind of chemicals that go into the food. So no junk. That's what I take as takeaway number one. No junk. More greens, more fiber, and ghar ka khana. But Riya, a simple walk can also go a long way. Perhaps in this journey of fitness, you can join a gym tomorrow or get into a yoga class and do Pilates and other forms of exercise that are available. But one can always begin with a simple walk.
Yeah, absolutely. The whole idea is to be consistent. How consistent are you in your practice? Doesn't matter whether you're able to dedicate 1 hour of practice, 45 minutes. The whole idea is just to show up on the mat for yourself. That even if you practice for 10-15 minutes, those 10-15 minutes are for you. So you take out time for yourself. I really try and ask people that, can you take out 15 minutes for yourself in this entire day when you're working throughout for everyone, right? And for your family, for your work, but just 15 minutes for you, where you can just be there in the present moment. Just ground yourself down, do your practice in whichever way you feel more comfortable at least, and be consistent. Once you start feeling comfortable with any particular practice, try and do it on a regular basis, maybe increase the intensity, maybe increase the duration, and you'll start feeling that change in your entire body. Even a simple practice like Kapalbhati, if you do it on a regular basis, you will start feeling that shine on your face. You won't need a lot of, products these days that are available in market. Your skin will start glowing itself, of course, with the help of food, with the right nutrition. Yeah, these small, simple
Now,
habits.
these are easy options that you both are suggesting, and all of this can be done at home. It's not really that expensive to get fit. And Dr. Sharma, should one also measure what they are eating? Let's suppose you have an office job where you're sitting on a chair not 24/7, but whatever your office timings are, 9 hours, 10 hours, and looking at a computer screen. What kind of food should you include in your diet? Should it be protein heavy? Should you be very conscious of the amount of fat that you're consuming?
So one thing I forgot to mention earlier is water and hydration. So our body is made of 2/3 of only water. And that is why having that 2 liters of water is really, really critical if you want to keep your metabolism going. So now in terms of that, if you have a sedentary job, what are the kinds of foods? I would say that remove all those biscuits from your chai coffee and remove so much of chai coffee. Start having herbal teas. There are so many kadhas, desi kadhas, which are so yummy. Start having those. Similarly, instead of having a biscuit, have roasted namkeens. Or you can have like peanuts, roasted peanuts without salt, or chana murmura. So keep them handy so that you don't reach out for that cookie, you don't reach out for those, very, very refined foods. That is very important. Then I would say,
Absolutely.
That put an alarm, and after every, say, 40 minutes, take a little walk or at least stretch yourself. Because another problem which I'm seeing amongst our patients is they're having slip disc. So just stretch yourself. Let your body move a little every 45 minutes. And I'm sure nobody in offices
Right, absolutely. Again, the snacks that you suggested, it's all available at home. Perhaps the Indian snacks that we always consume, we need to go back to that, listen more to our dadi, nani and mummy, and take just very small steps and make small changes to lead a healthy life. Thank you very much, Riya and Dr. Sharma, for joining us on the broadcast.